Today we're going to be playing with the Tiger II, which in my opinion is one of the best all-round heavy tanks that you can play at tier 8. Because this tier 8 heavy is almost like a complete package, whereas with some of the other heavies, you may trade off a few things to gain better stats in other areas. Whereas this is just good in a hold down scenario. It can still be penned with a weak spot. It's got an amazing gun. It's got good side armor so you can side scrape. And it's rewarding to play, but also forgiving to play at the same time. But the tank's performance over the past 30 days on the EU server is actually 7th overall for battles played with 352,000 games played. But this tank does have a win rate difference of minus 1.72%, which if we go by the win rate difference, it's not the worst, but it's up there. But this is also to be expected because this tank, you will play stock, you will have to grind through its stock, and you will see tier 10s when you're stock sometimes. And depending on how lucky you are, you may see tier 10s a lot more than not seeing tier 10s, but it's horrible either way when it happens. So on average, the stats are actually going to be worse with this vehicle than, say, a premium vehicle because you wouldn't have to grind anything on the premium vehicle, whereas with this, you have to grind it from stock. Which is why if we went to DPG, this is nowhere close to being top. You would have to scroll all the way down, actually onto page number 2, to go and find the Tiger II, and it is all the way down here with 958. So about what I was expecting for the Tiger II, to be honest, for the past 30 days, because yes, it's a tech tree tank. People are going to be having bad stats in it because they're grinding it. But grinding is not what we're going to be talking about in this video. This video is just about the Tiger II with its fully upgraded stage, 3 different loadouts. More information can be found in the description of this video if you're interested, and just seeing how it plays, hopefully giving some tips along the way. As always, we're just going to run through the crew just so you know what I'm running, and then maybe what you can aim for as well within your crew. So we have the commander, the gunner, the driver, the radio operator, and then the loader. Okay, so for our first game, we're on Tundra. Now we are using hardening, rammer, and stab, which is what I would recommend most people to choose. Now, there is an argument for dropping either, I would say the hardening for a turbo. That is a valid option. It depends how you play as a player, sure. I prefer hardening purely for the track HP. I don't really care about it being too slow or too fast, because mostly with heavy tanks, I either just allow them to be slow and not try to make them into something that they're not, or if they're way too slow, then obviously whack a turbo on it. But with this style of tank, it would be quite nice to have a turbo, not even for the top speed, but for the power to weight rating, because the power to weight rating is 9, or nearly 10 horsepower per ton, at least kilometers an hour, and it definitely doesn't go at 10 kilometers an hour. Don't worry, that's fine. But it would be quite nice for that. So, okay. Driver gets knocked out by an E25 in the first shot. Interesting. I'm not too sure what our UDES was doing, but the really nice thing about this tank is the gun depression, the ability to go hold down, and the side scraping potential. Now, I am not currently side scraping because, listen, do as I say, not as I do sometimes, okay? That's a good bit of advice for anybody. You should always listen to what I say, not always what I show. The penetration is 225 and 360 damage, which is actually quite nice. It's kind of the sweet spot, because if you think about it, 360 damage, yeah, sure, it's not super high, but for tier 8, it's really quite nice to have. And not to mention, the accuracy on this gun is just amazing. Okay, I was trying to wait until he... I was trying to make it so that I was ready to fire. Okay, so what is happening in this game? Well, we've lost... We're winning over this side, sort of. If the Progetto dies, then we're in a good situation. The mid is kind of gone, and we've lost over this side. But let's just see if we can stay hold down around here. Not exposed too much. And anybody pushing up this way as well, we should be able to shoot. So if we just play a little bit slow. We have the SVAC over here. We also have the Sturo Mill. I don't think we'll get another one into this guy. No, we won't. But I can go forwards and make sure that nobody's going up the hill at the same time. I'm not too sure whether this guy's getting pushed out or not. We do take a shot for that. This guy is unfortunate, right as we just used the medkit as well. Lovely. Get backed up by our team, which is good. Now, the one thing that we need to watch out for is that if this guy... That's a bit of an issue. I will never be able to spot this guy, and I don't actually know where he is. I don't... Oh, no. Oh, dear. Yeah. About finding that E25. I don't find him. Managed to kill him, though. The gun is so nice. I think I have 0.27 accuracy right now. It's such a nice tank. But the gun, if there's any, like, minute issues with the tank that you might feel there is, like with the power to weight or something like that, the gun just performs so well. It just makes up for it. One into you. Oh, there's two E25. That's not good. Ideally, I would like to kill this E25 if I can. I have no idea what he was doing, by the way. Yeah, this is a slight predicament we've got ourselves into. I'm not too sure where the other E25 has gone. That is what I'm a little bit worried about. Bloody artillery. Oh, we actually bounced there? Really? See if I can get one more into this. I mean, we have 2.9. The ISU is using the big gun. Yeah. We're just surrounded. There's nothing we can do. Our team just lost everywhere else, unfortunately. But, yeah, I mean, we get 3k out of it. Well, I mean, we got 3 kills, 2.9k damage. Not an amazing game to start things off with. But that is showing you one of the other things that's kind of annoying about this tank as well. Is that because you are quite slow in regards to power to weight, the top speed isn't too bad at 40, as I said. But the power to weight is so bad that once you go to a flank and you notice the other side has fallen, you then can't really go and just move back or try to hide because you're just too slow to do that. Like, it's very difficult because you want to try and hold the situation with this style of tank. It's not like a tank that you can just go off and run around the map with. So yes, 2.9k and yeah. Right, so for our next game, we're on Oyster Bay. We are using the Peasant loadout, which is for people that are true peasants in this game and refuse to fire any gold. Yes, there are some people. I have to put that preference there because I don't think that anybody should be using this style of loadout. Even if you're free to play, you should be taking a small sum of premium rounds. And I have to repeat this because if you're a new player that's just coming into like this video, this is the first video you've ever seen, then please take some form of premium ammo because you need some in this game. It doesn't cost gold, it costs some credits. Just take, like, for example, 10 or something like that, and then when you do meet targets that you need premium rounds for, you can then use them. They will not break the bank as long as you pen them. If you start firing them, you know, all over the shop, then yeah, you're going to lose credits. And if you miss all of them, then yes, you're going to lose credits. But if you, on the whole, pen them, you'll be okay. Again, I just have to reiterate that because if you are new and this is your first video or whatever, then yeah. The K2. This is why the Kurovets 1 is a nicer turret, because you can actually overmatch this. Or don't really want to get shot by the by you though. And I'm pretty sure you can overmatch the like the upper bit of the tracks. So like right here, just above the tracks, where the hole meets the tracks, underneath all of this, the side skirts, you can just pen up through there. You can overmatch them. I was actually looking at... I was paying too much attention to showing you something, and they've now pushed. This is definitely not good in reverse, is it? Right, I want to see if I can... This is... okay. I actually can't reverse it, so what I need to do is try and kill this. We need to try and kill these. I can't... I wanted to try and go to the rock behind me. Please. But we can all play here, but... K5, man. There you go. Look, I even penned his side skirts. That was a bad shot. That was a very, very bad shot. Okay. Well, we made the correct decision to not go back, because if we went back, we would have been all over the place and died. I can definitely... The power to weight is definitely an issue. And I think that maybe, you know, for tier 8, if you're going to be playing against tier 8s, sure, hardening can work out well. But if you're actually playing against tier 10s, hardening's kind of useless at tier 8, because you won't have enough track health regardless. Especially if you're just grinding it. Right, if this Vipera can spot this, then we can have shots at the people crossing. One into you. We just pull back again. Are you going to try and peek me? Lovely, and we get some nice assist. Oh no, he spots it. Good. I'll just keep this up. Maybe the Vipera will kill him. Not sure. Okay, very nice. And then Mr. Barask. He's not actually there. They went through. I mean, not an outstanding game. I was doing a little bit too much yapping to actually realise what was happening, but it turned out okay. Turned out okay. It's a turbo game at the end of the day, so you know, what are you going to do? Do we finish this? No. So yeah, only 2.2k, 3k combined still, which is good, but yeah, it could have been more. Yeah, not a bad result for you know, playing peasant mode or whatever, but yeah, we definitely could have got a bit more damage there. We threw a few shots where we shouldn't have, and we're not really paying full concentration on it, but overall, that wasn't too bad. And as always, just before we do get into the final loadout, which will be the try-hard loadout, these are the field mods that I will select. We don't choose anything for the first one because the terrain distances isn't good enough to pick the right-hand side, and you definitely don't want to pick the left-hand side if you're choosing hardening. If you were choosing turbo, however, you could pick the left-hand side without any issues. We then go left side, which is just a no-brainer, and then also, again, no-brainer, which is the right-hand side. Okay, so third and final game, we're on Cliff, which is not really a map that I play that often. Usually I have it banned on my main account, purely because you go to the middle, you get farmed by the TDs at the back. Yeah, it's not always a fun time. But we are using the try-hard loadout, which is going to be for people who are trying to free mark the tank or stuff like that, to show you the maximum possible potential out of this tank. So we go through the standard loadout, which is the normal loadout that most people will use. We then have the peasant loadout, which is the lowest possible that you could probably get out of the tank, and then you have the try-hard loadout, which is obviously full gold, full bond, everything that you would have to try and maximize the potential of this tank. Interestingly enough, they have the hill, and we don't really own anything. AEBR is fighting with the Skoda T27, which I'm not too sure how that's going to go, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really have many places that I can reliably go to. What's the premium round pen? 285, which is very, very good, actually. Vipera. I mean, I'm going to struggle to really pen you, which is a problem. Let's see. Let's see if we can make something happen here. Yes, I am aware. I'm aware how bad this map actually is. Okay, well, we are not playing here. This is why I have this map banned. There's just... it's just a horrible map. Let's try and go up here. I mean, we have the gun depression to do it, so... I'm also aware of any tank destroyers at the very back of the map that might be over here. I mean, that tree's not knocked down, which means that there's nobody right at the back, but they just sit behind a rock anyway, so... The tree being not knocked over doesn't really tell me much. Yep, there's a nomad with his hesh. Well, I mean, I guess we just sit here and hope for the best. Because there's really nothing else we can do. Maybe this KV4 will push. I mean, the good news is that if this guy tries to push up, he does get spotted. Well, he's perma-spotted by me anyway. I don't know if anyone peeks this side if I spot them, but I think this does. At the ELC. And they can't actually push through this either. Welcome to Water Tanks matches, where... Mapper matches, where once you push a flank, you then lose. You win, then you lose. Tiger 2's down there. Because he was last spotted around here, so might as well put one in just to see. There goes the M41. There's the Tiger 2. Not too sure if we hit him or not. Probably didn't. Vipera being there is a problem. Wonder if I can... Oh well, Progetto's there. And I can't see him. There we go. I'm not too sure if I can actually bounce him reliably. We track him. Maybe we can kill him. Perhaps. Nice. Get the kill. He then peeks and dies. God, this is so dumb. Very nice shot on him. This is unbelievably done, by the way. Just imagine winning and then losing. Because the map design is awful. Okay, that should have penned. He's just fired. There we go. Yeah. Yep. I'm sure the enemy team enjoyed losing the game that they won. And I'm pretty sure everybody has already gone round, or maybe they pushed back up, I don't know. But the Nomad and the Lynx were last spotted around down the bottom. Oh, the Lynx wasn't, but... Ah, excellent. He's now dead. Do you see if we can just blind the artillery? For sure. He's either up back there or he's around here somewhere. I don't actually know how far away that is. He might be out of... Yeah, he is. He's not directly in the bush. Yeah, this map just... Not really, not a map I enjoy at all. Not a map I enjoy at all. I can't ban it because I don't have Watt Plus on the press account, so I can only ban 2 maps, which I think is Mountain Pass and one other at the moment. So yeah, not a good game to end things on. Only 1.8k, which is pathetic for this tank, especially considering the gun and the loadout we're using. But this is a horrible map, and that just shows the true problem with the maps at the moment in this game. If you just sit there and camp your base, you win. Because all the maps are nearly impossible to push through. You cannot push through one flank or another flank or anything, because the amount of just camping spots in every single map means that you just lose. And that goes for both sides of the map. I mean, we only lost 68,000 credits, which is lovely. What even is it to mark this tank? 2.2k. Really? Is this like the lowest mark requirement of any tank? Well, it's not the lowest, but it is down with the lowest. I mean, Tiger 2 is here with 2.2k. There's still quite a few tanks that are less than that. But that does feel... For what the tank can do, you can definitely tell that people play it stock, because that is the only reason why it's so low. That really does show that the stats are so skewed with this type of tank, because if this was a premium vehicle, it would probably have like 2.8 to 3k. But overall, this thing... It's one of those tanks that I think a lot of people just forget, and it's one of the most comfy tanks at tier 8 to play, because it is a complete package. The gun is just so good, especially when you're just allowing it to just free farm enemies, because it just barely misses. Like, you have such good accuracy, 2.6 at the moment, and that's with the field mods. It's very nice. I recommend... Do you know what? If you're looking to try and mark tanks, this is actually probably a good first tank to try and mark, because it will teach you about marking tanks, and the requirements are not high at all. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.